interesting thing for me here is that I've never really seen everything like this together. You know, everything's been in boxes or storage or maybe up on a wall somewhere, but not in the context of everything being together. So seeing it in that way, yeah, it's been quite amazing, you know, because when you put it all together and you realise the time and what's sort of going on now, I think that's what's been interesting. A lot of people, a lot of friends of mine that didn't know about Mowax, especially people that are in the fashion business or music industry now, but didn't really take that period in. What I think is interesting for a lot of people is how long ago these things happened. So, you know, you've got Pharrell and Kanye doing sneakers and toys and whatever, but this was nearly 20 years ago, you know. But it wasn't really until I sort of saw everything together that I realised what it really meant. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Meltdown's been an amazing catalyst for that. You know, before I was doing Meltdown, I was sort of a little bit at that place where I knew I need to make a new record, but kind of didn't really know what I was doing. You know, I was turning 40, and so I was a little bit of a weird place. And then to have that, it's been a massive sort of creative confidence injection into what I'm doing. So for me, I think it's about trying to keep the momentum, really. I mean, I think collaboration is huge in all areas of art and always has been, but for me, I wasn't a very good solo kind of artist. For me to feel inspired, it was about working with other people. The idea of bringing people together is what I love, you know, whether it's a musician or an artist or, you know, usually the way I think of things tends to be quite visual initially, and trying to put all these elements together to create something unique. That's what I like to do, you know, but you have to have the person that doesn't want to do that to be the person that you can then put with somebody else. And so something like, for instance, like Shadow, being his, you know, the way he works, trying to get something like that and putting them with a Tom York or whatever, then it's kind of like, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm not hands-on in the sense that I don't program, I'm very hands-on in the way the records are mixed or put together, and it's no different than making a film. And actually there's lots of different schools of producers. I'm from the Rick Rubin school. I'm not as necessarily hands-on a technical level, but I'm aware of everything that goes on, and I put everything together. Like something like Rick Rubin, the idea is, you know, or Nelly Hooper, you get the best person at mixing, you get the best engineer, you try and put those things together, and hopefully something really amazing comes out of that. And, you know, I've been criticised, I've been pushed for that a lot in my career, but actually it's a very general thing in music. I mean, really the thing is what is the end result to me. I'm interested in the end result. You know what, man, I get asked it's probably one of the most reoccurring questions. I have no idea. Because people say you can't do it again. I disagree. I look at something like Will Bankhead, what he's doing with trilogy tapes. I don't think it's that dissimilar to Mowax. Really what it's about essentially is community. Mowax was a band. That's why it never went beyond what it did. If it did, it wouldn't be here. Because, you know, are you interested in Ireland in the late 70s, early 80s, or are you interested in the Spice Girls? Most labels have an early period where it's really iconic, it's usually based on a group of people, and then either that finishes or it progresses. What I couldn't recreate is the fact that I couldn't get Will and Ben and Shadow and, you know, all of that energy necessarily now, because we were all 18, 19 years old. There is a sort of classic 8-9 year period where people kind of, when it's great and something comes together, something amazing can come out of that. And I think that's what's impossible for me to recreate. I could set up Mowax tomorrow and put records out, and I think that I could probably put good records out, but it's not the same. The moment you get a record, the moment that Repercussions came into Honest John's was a pretty amazing moment, you know, just to have made a record. You know, now it seems so ridiculously easy. It was, you know, you can't imagine the feeling of actually holding this thing. It's so disposable now, but at the time it was such a big deal, and it wasn't a cheap process, it was an expensive process to do that. So that was mind-blowing. Of course, moments like Introducing was an incredible moment, but it's hard to pick any one moment because so many things were so brilliant and had their individual things, you know, there's so many good memories. There's also a lot of shit memories because it wasn't that easy. What's wonderful about seeing this now is I can celebrate it, but at the time you just felt like you were just fighting all the time. Just like I said, build your own universe and find your identity, and the rest is just spinning around here. I don't know what the answer is. It's very hard. You know, I think that you have to believe in what you believe believe in, and it may work and it may not. You know, happy are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to see those dreams come true. But it might not work. But if they do work, you do something special, you know.